Are you guys ready for Titan time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I got it on right now. Matter of fact.
Okay. All right. So Titan time, we are here. This is episode, I believe it's 10. So I feel like we have like 6 more until this part of the season ends. But I mean, last time it was a lot of, I guess, flashbacks, a lot of Potato Girl, a lot of Why Are You Black, a lot of stuff like that.
Hold on. The episode where they meet their first black man is the episode where they also try their first seafood platter.
It's not coincidence, Carlos. It's not coincidence, man.
It's not. It's strategic. That nigga brought Old Bay seasoning in his jacket.
You know what's up.
Oh my god, that's so funny. First of all, all 3 of us have gotten onto this recently. I have to get Carlos's thoughts because I think he's the most recent in terms of like watching this, because you were telling me when you were watching this and I was same thing with Jeff. I was like, yo, text me whatever you want to talk about it, because I know this shit gets wild. What are your overarching thoughts on, like, I guess, watching it thus far?
Oh, they don't give a fuck. They don't care if you love somebody, if you hate somebody. When it's somebody's time on this show, it's their time. That's it. and
they don't reminisce about it either. Like, it's
over.
Bro.
I don't remember whoever died from the first season never been mentioned again.
I
don't even remember.
Not even a thought.
Yeah, the family friend that saved Eren and Mikasa from that Dina's his dad's ex-wife Titan,
right. Which is so ironic, like
angry ex-wife.
How your old joint finds you and your new family and eat your wife.
She was waiting for the malls to open. She was like, "Yo, it's my time."
I smell that nigga. Where he at?
Yeah, pull up.
I smell that nigga. Where he at?
Oh my god, bro.
Child support payments. And look at me. Oh my god. But any other like exciting parts that you just remember like throughout the show that like stood out to you, Carlos?
Levi putting them niggas in the blender, nigga. He really first of all, they swing giant box cutters. That's basically what they do.
They really do.
Box cutter and just like be chopping these niggas down. This nigga can handle like 30 or 40 of them just to reach Drewski's big old ass at the end of the field. Like, that's crazy.
I'm still mad you call the Beast Titan Drewski.
He's got the same face. The same facial structure.
Oh
Every time
my
I see that picture where it's like, so what do you mean by that? I just picture the Beast Titan leaning in. He picked up old boy and his horse and he just flung them niggas and ate them.
Yeah. That's the best part. That part, all right. Levi versus the Beast Titan, or Trunks versus Frieza, which is the best like slice and dice.
Come on, man. I mean, I honestly like. I'm not gonna give nostalgia this W because.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are
Levi the Beast Titan was too hard.
He cooked that nigga.
Yeah.
On every level. He shredded that nigga until there was nothing left but a steaming hump. Like a steaming lump of human being with nothing but nubs for arms. That nigga.
Oh my god!
The blade in the mouth at the end was just kind of like the hardest shit I've seen on the series. Still.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go into this episode. It's an interesting way to start the episode because it's obviously it's from the capping of last week's episode, but it's a start. Eren is obviously trying to take a shower in the sink. Obviously. And being interrupted by Hanji, who, through my recent, I wouldn't even say recent, through my research on this show and stuff like that, not a girl, not a guy, them. So I was like, wow, didn't know that.
Hanji was meant to be genderless in like the original manga, but I mean, translating that to anime doesn't work as well because you still got to pick a voice actor. So
absolutely.
Something's gonna happen.
You're right.
It happens when you know Hunter x Hunter has that shit like 3-4 times. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously Eren's trying to take a shower in the sink, and Hanji's like, "Hey, I heard you say fight. What does that fight mean? Fight? You said fight. Does it mean you fighting twice? Does it mean we fighting today? Does it mean we fighting tomorrow?" And obviously he gets completely. He's like, "Yo, why are you here? Why are you here?
Like, come on, nigga, I'm looking at myself right now. Like,
yeah,
You see a nigga monologuing, and you gonna come in?
like, stop, bro. I'm busy right now.
And she tries to bring up old stuff, which prompts us to a flashback of the show of like, oh, okay, I remember when you were so into Titans. You remember that time where that Asian lady, who we're not calling Asian because it's a fictional country, but I know it's Asian, showed up to our island to lay out this plan? I want to just talk to you and talk about that. So, all right. Just because the general scheme of this episode, I'll go into the general scheme of this episode. Everyone is coming to terms that Eren has changed. Eren is different.
Mm-hmm.
Eren is no longer the person that they was. It's like, man, he's growing hair in places he didn't have hair before, and his voice is deeper.
He looks good.
And he's taller, and he's also slightly more psychopathic than before. Not just a little slightly. They're discovering this Hanji experiences that on her own, but then Eren snatches them up and just be like, yo, like, just know I have like 3 Titans in me. This jail does nothing. Like, I have the warhammer.
I was wondering why the fuck he was in a jail cell, because I'm just like, is the prison really gonna hold this nigga? All he has to do is decide to cut himself. Just think about it. Like,
did you see him? Like, he like flexed the Titan thing a little bit. He was like, he just sparked it up.
You see it real quick. Look,
he was like, yo, don't catch a Reiner right now, because it could go
no
real
safety on this shit, nigga.
Yeah, you never know.
My hands stay bloody just for this type of thing.
I'm feeling like.
But they're starting to experience it. The core group of whoever's left of the Survey Corps, as the final 4 seasons, we're down. This is like Survivor. There was like 400, 500,000 member of the Survey Corps. There is legitimately like 7 now, plus Flock. But everyone hates Flock, so he's never actually included in any of the conversations. For manga readers, you know why. But the core group begins to question Eren's intentions, because he was like, yo, originally Eren wasn't like messing with Zeke. Like, you remember the time where we were talking to, Miss Azumabito, and he was just like, nah, we're not going down with Zeke's plan. And now he's like totally like, yo, we're fucking with Zeke and everything that he does.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you got some question marks.
Yeah, everyone's like, yo, he's growing. Did you see him when Sasha died? Like, he didn't even cry. He left.
Giggling. But I kind of, he was really giggling because of, I think, her last words, which I guess if you're going to remember her in some way.
It's still funny. Psychopathic, because everyone else was crying.
Nah. I think he laughed because he was like, wasn't no potato on that gun.
Yeah, damn.
No potato in the barrel.
And he laughed a little because war fucks you up, honestly. Mentally, war fucks you up. So he giggled a little bit to himself.
Well, it's messed him up crazy. It's not even just war. It's the idea of knowing all these things that you didn't even anticipate knowing before.
That's real.
It's like all these things, all these previous holders of the Founding Titan and the Attack Titan, and you're probably gonna get some Warhammer Titan memories of her like like taking a dump. I don't know.
Come on, man. What kind of memories is he retrieving right now? Like, he's seeing it all.
The Warhammer Titan, anything like. It's a girl.
That probably is really fucking him up now that I'm thinking about it. Oh my god.
It's just all these memories and stuff like that, and he's experiencing all of this stuff, and it's just warped his entire personality, like beyond just the war part, because he's lost so many things. Now he's got all these memories continuing to pull him in so many different directions and be like, yo, everyone gotta die. And the core group is like, yo, we might have to clip Eren. Like, we might have to get to the point where we're gonna have to kill him. And Mikasa and Armin are like, yo, chill, it's not even like that. Like, he's just kind of,
Armin is that friend that always want to talk. And sometimes you gotta be the friend that slaps the nigga. I'm so sorry.
He probably got more bodies at this point.
Truly.
Really.
In war, at this point, if he just be just letting that shit rip in the middle of just a battlefield, absolutely. That nigga.
That's what we haven't seen yet.
Exactly. That nigga's like an atomic bomb when he go off.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't want to hear Armin speak, nigga. I don't want to hear it, because I know his. I mean, he's absolutely a murderer.
Yeah.
Who on this show is it?
Oh yeah.
You got 12-year-olds with bodies on this show.
Gotta get your bodies.
You're right. Oh fuck. But yeah, Mikasa and Armin are like, nah, just let us talk to him, like just us, and we can talk to him, and we can figure out like what he's doing, why he went to Marley and did all those things, even though we didn't want him to do that, why he did all these things, and we can figure it out. But everyone's experiencing that Eren is completely different now, and it's just, I think it's really setting in, especially with the casualties of losing Sasha and them having to put on all their cool ass gear to go fly across the globe to kill a bunch of people. And realizing like, yo, not only did we have problems where the world hated us before, as seen in the flashbacks, which why we try to get Miss Kiyomo Azumabito from the nation of Hazuru, fictional nation of Hazuru.
Just have to put that. Nigga said the nation like it's allegedly, quote unquote.
Alleged.
Now we have to get her for help, but no one wants to help, and that's my second point. Of the nation of Hazuru, representing by its ambassador. I keep saying her name because like I'm so impressed. Oh, also I figured out Onyan Capone. Onyan Capone is his name. I'm probably fucking it up, but I wanted to make sure to get that black guy's name.
I say it fast. Onyan Capone.
Yeah. I'm trying to. He's obviously not from Marley.
Nigerian.
Maybe. Oh, we didn't do that reveal on the podcast yet.
No, we did not. What? That I'm an African giant?
Actually, yeah, this is this is so funny because I remember Carlos previously asking me, he was like, yo, what is Jeff? Like, what is his like nationality and stuff like that?
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. I was like, what is his nationality? Because like, I look at pictures of this nigga and I'm like, where's this nigga from?
And actually, come to find out, so this is wild because it's like years later after this, but it's like great timing that Jeff did his ancestry thing and found out. Go ahead, find out how much, how African you really are.
Literally, my mom and my dad do not know their fathers, so I've kind of always been curious what was in me or whatever. But so I did Ancestry, it came back and it was like 24% Nigerian, and that's all I needed to see. After that, I was like, I had text Robbie, I text Meelz, like anybody I could think. I was like, no, y'all niggas gotta see this because I would have never thought in a million years, bro, like it would say Nigerian, but it did. There's some other stuff in there too, like Scottish and. European shit. Basically, it's like 68% black, and then everything else is like European. So,
well, listen, you're not the only one who had the ancestry in this thing. Mikasa herself, Mikasa, who I'm beginning to wonder now. I question
his ancestry as a segue, but go on.
It was just like
it's supposed to be a proud moment.
Listen. 170 something episodes of Two Belts, 80 episodes of this. I've gotten pretty good at this.
Easy.
To be honest.
Yeah, it's too easy for me.
I know, right? He does it without looking.
I truly did it without looking. So the ambassador who shows up under the pretense of seeing Mikasa, for some reason I've never like. I guess everyone has had names like, oh, there's Connie and Jean and Sasha, and I've never once said like Mikasa. That's not a name that doesn't fit in this thing.
Yeah, because all of them have like German and French names and shit like that. So it's like it's like really easy for someone that's Anglo-Saxon to say where Mikasa's name is like so different. I think they tease that when they talk about the Ackermans like ancestry. They say that I think was it Kenny's cousin or some shit is like her mom.
Right.
She married into the family with someone that was like from the East, basically.
Absolutely. And friggin', first of all, another thing that was funny before I gotta get to this point eventually, but another thing that was funny in this episode was, so they do the time skip to like a year before when they're working on the railroad, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because Levi looks around and he's like, you all are grown up pretty fucking tall. Like, he is short as hell. I mean, shout out to,
but he's the most handsome on the show.
He's the most handsome and deadly and all this other stuff like that. But it's like, didn't even realize. It was like, yo, this man is really, it's representing for the Short King. So shout out to you guys. Maybe us. I don't know. Depends. But all right. So Kiyomi comes to the Parody Island under the pretense of Team Mikasa and trying
Wait,
to
it's
secure.
parody? I always thought it was
parody.
paradise. That's crazy.
You know, if you're American, you say paradise, we're gonna let it slide because you know
Paradise,
it looks like
parody.
paradise.
The S is silent.
That's a silent.
Yes, the S is silent. The S is 100% silent.
These niggas play too much.
It's like Gabby. Gabby is Gabby.
It's actually Gabi. It's not Gabby at all. But the song, you know, fuck Gabby. It just goes. I don't know.
Works.
I'm not gonna tell him to record the song over.
Yeah, he's not gonna redo that shit. That shit was that shit's one take.
It's funnier just saying Gabby at this point. So.
Absolutely. But she's also trying to secure boom 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 Ice Burst Stone, wherever that came from. So according to Parody has these resources in them, which apparently power all of their maneuvering gear. Of the Ice Burst Stone, which Zeke, who first of all is not part of Parody at all, was willing to sit in a previous meeting with Kiyomo, and it's like,
much info, man.
you can have some of this Ice Burst Stone if you go over. Like, he's negotiating on behalf of them without even them negotiating with Zeke at all. He's like, yo, you can take some of this ODM gear if you want to. You can have this one. I stole like 4 of them when I was over there. Killed like 80 guys and just picked up like 4 of them. But you can have this, and she, so now she's over, one, trying to get the resources for Parody, and also the world will be pretty soon privy to what they have as well, and be also like, yo, we want that as well. But she's acting as a mediator between Zeke and them at the time, at least, because this is all flashback shit. It's confusing because they like jump in between past, present, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, all this. They jump just too many times in the episode.
If you're on season 4 with us and you've been watching, then it should be no surprise.
This is definitely season 3.5 material right now.
Yeah, they be going
so
on.
she talked to Zeke, and they have a plan to save Parody. Here's Zeke's plan. It's a 3-step plan to save Parody. Save Eldians, not even Parody, just Eldians in general.
Mm-hmm.
1, we test in the rumbling, which means we're gonna smash a few nations and let people really know who's boss.
Right,
like we're gonna let the rumbling just rock for a little bit, not forever.
Sure,
it might have to be forever.
That's so funny because it's just like a nigga leaning in and telling you, yo, we're not gonna set off the whole atomic bomb, just a little bit, just in this one little place.
That's enough.
People will
die. People will die. But
it's a warning shot with casualties, yes, but it's such a fucked up idea.
It really is.
It's stupid. But it's like, yo, we gotta kick off with that. If we don't kick off with that, we got nothing. They're gonna show up with airplanes and all types of modern technology, iPads, and start spreadsheeting y'all asses. 2, while the rumbling is stopping, or while the rumbling is happening, the nation of Hazuru will lend you all of their knowledge on technology for military. So they're going to be like, yo, we're going to supply you guys with planes. We're going to supply you guys with boats, lasers, guns, all this other stuff. So we're going to build your military. We're going to start breeding with people. So you guys have more people. There are going to be more Mikasas all over the island. I promise you. It's going to be
demanding breeding people. Like,
oh yeah,
that's the next step. But that's the next step. But
come on, y'all don't like mixed babies? What's wrong with y'all? It's for the sake of love.
So we're going to do that for how long as it takes until we get so the rumbling will continue for as long as it takes till we get your military up where you guys are a true superpower. It could take 30 years. It could take 50 years. But in the meantime, in these 50 years, so here's the third point. So in these 50 years, these Titans only last for 13 years. We're going to have to start breeding you guys. You're founding Titan girl. I'm looking at you in royal blood. I'm looking at you in your direction. You're going to have to start having babies. Eren, you're going to have to figure some stuff out. I don't know. Pick a girl.
Like, Eren, what's
seem
going
really
on, man?
scared.
You gay? You like girls? What's going on? You show no interest in nothing.
Oh
he
my
show
God.
no interest in nothing. We don't know what Eren really likes, man.
Yeah, he's just like, yo, just you find somebody somewhere, not Historia, but maybe don't do Historia. Find somebody else. Because if you do Historia and then the rumbling starts to happen, it's going to be some wild shit. Imagine if sex started, the rumbling that ended the entire world as we know it. But you know what? That's part of the plan. They've got a lot going on, and they've got a lot of things to do. I mean, overall, the overarching thing for this episode is that Eren is completely changed, and the people who are very, very much so close to him are beginning to know it. And of course, the parody is communicating to the outside world for the first time in a somewhat reputable way, and they can't even seem to get people on their side. Even the one country that they're with cannot convince people against it, and it's really because of what Eren did in Marley. And then also they want to mine parody for their resources, all that, you know, Ice Stone Burst or whatever the hell it's called. But nonetheless, we learn a bunch of things. I've read the manga from here, so I kind of know what's going to happen, and it's very, very interesting. You know, still plenty of swerves coming in Attack on Titan world, so we just got to look forward to that, guys. And I'm going to wrap things up here. We're going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen up next, so make sure you guys stay tuned, and thank you guys for tuning in to Titan Time.